Mary J. Blige, she's been there since the very beginning. She was pushing, 26 when she was having intimate physical engagement with Danny Boy, who was 15, 16 years old.
This is Mary J. Blige. I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young.
Allegedly, one of those tapes that Courtney Burgess say that he never saw was with Diddy, a very 16-year-old and a very 26-year-old Mary J. Blige.
Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked off, who actually made business, bank exchange, created dollars in real black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
Jaguar Wright is back with more claims about men who are walking around undetected and spreading viruses. And you know that when she starts naming names, she really goes after people.
Which I know because I monitor. Went for 500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas.
Tens of thousands of victims who have been waiting for justice for so long. Justice for Kim Porter, justice for Justin Bieber, justice for Cassie, justice for Tanya Rubin, justice for Little Rod, justice for Tierra Marie. Even Princess Love, for that matter. Justice for Biggie, Pac, Nipsey, Pimp C, my son Giovanni. I don't have enough breath in my lungs.
She's been really throwing sharp words at Diddy and the music industry again, and the situation she's creating is wild. According to Jaguar, those famous Diddy parties weren't just about fun and fancy drinks. They were full of drugs, cameras, and power struggles that could really mess with someone's head. She says they were like wild parties, where celebrities weren't just there, they were taken advantage of and exposed to harmful diseases.
Mary J. Blige, she's been there since the very beginning. She was pushing, 26? When she was having intimate physical engagement with Danny Boy, who was 15, 16 years old.
This is Mary J. Blige. I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young.
Allegedly, one of those tapes that Courtney Burgess say that he never saw was with Diddy, a very 16-year-old and a very 26-year-old Mary J. Blige.
You ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, several, many, honestly.
And so, can you take us through like what goes on, like when you were there?
What did I say when y'all asked me about why was the TD Jakes at the Diddy party?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Money.
That's correct. Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No!
That he was recording these?
Of course, he is the J. Edgar Hoover of hip-hop.
Okay.
Y'all done seen him put on the pyramid with a skirt?
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come and what they call freak-offs now,
yeah.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak offs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times I got some these is wild.
So do you feel like people, when they hear pink cocaine, Young Miami has to bring across?
Wait, the two-seat.
And it's not just Ben Jaguar making these claims. There have been more stories about young people in Miami passing around the virus that she got from Diddy.
JT's basically coming out and saying that Young Miami is sleeping around with different guys, giving them AIDS.
Damn.
You know, and Future, Stephon Diggs is one of the people that got thrown out there. You know, she was with Diddy.
Yeah, whether you believe Jaguar or not is up to you. But what I can tell you is that there's a lot of chaos going on, and you better take care of yourself. As for where all these claims started, Jaguar did an interview where she praised Magic Johnson, a businessman and former basketball player who has been open about his HIV diagnosis. She said, "Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked out, who actually created dollars in black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else. He faced that head up. He didn't stop. He didn't stop doing what he's done. How many dudes are running around undetectable?" Now, since most of Jaguar's interviews centered around Diddy, a lot of folks took her words to mean that he was out here moving in silence, while certain female celebs allegedly walked away from those parties with infections and baggage they couldn't just rinse off the next day. Do we have solid proof? Absolutely not. But here's the thing, Jaguar doesn't seem pressed about showing receipts. She knows the shock value alone is enough to keep blogs buzzing and social media gasping, and the way she delivers it, bold, unshaken, straight from the chest, you almost forget that everything she's saying is just alleged. And like I mentioned before, Jaguar isn't the only one fueling these claims. The rumor mill has gone into overdrive with whispers that Young Miami herself allegedly caught something from Diddy and might have been passing it around. Now pause, because that's a crazy allegation with zero evidence to back it up. But y'all already know how the internet operates. Nobody waits for facts. They grab onto the messiest version of the story and sprint with it. And the fact that Young Miami has been standing right by Diddy's side for years only makes the gossip spread faster. She's been his arm candy, his city girl, his ride or die, proudly calling him her man, even when the relationship had everybody else side-eyeing. Funny enough, it was JT who first started dropping hints, planting seeds that Carisha allegedly picked up from someone known for passing it around. And if that's true, that's not just shade, it's a betrayal of the entire City Girl brand. Best friends turning into frenemies, with JT allegedly exposing her partner in rhymes business for the whole world to chew on. But that's still not the end. The gossip trail also ties Young Miami, Saucy Santana, and even his ex-boyfriend Chef D into the same messy storyline. And according to Chef D, Diddy had been hiding a diagnosis the entire time they were together. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if more than just secrets and body fluids were moving around at those infamous freak-offs, because the stories about what was really going on steer straight up wild. Y'all remember when Diddy got indicted? Federal agents claimed finding not only 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but also 3 AR-15 at Diddy's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. These items were said to be connected to a much bigger setup tied to Diddy's infamous freak-offs, those wild, over-the-top parties fueled by alcohol and chaos. According to the indictment, officials even went as far as detailing how these supplies were allegedly used to keep those outrageous gatherings running, including controlled substances, extra linens, and lighting. It also went on to detail how Diddy threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. He was also accused of weaponizing his own staff, resources, and power, not just to expand his empire, but to allegedly turn it into a criminal machine where he himself was tied to a string of serious offenses, not limited to forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Federal officers also noted how, on numerous occasions, from at least in or about 2009, and continuing for years, Diddy mistreated women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and killing them. In addition, the indictment went on to say that Diddy lured women in under the pretense of a relationship and forced them to engage in freak-offs using physical and other forms of intimidation. The freak-offs were also portrayed as extravagant, featuring intimate shows that Diddy allegedly organized, directed, participated in, and often recorded electronically. It further mentioned how his staff regularly secured hotel suites and stocked them ahead of time with liquor, baby oil, lubricants, fresh sheets, and extra lighting. Reportedly, these freak-offs could stretch on for days, and Diddy, along with others involved, would often rely on IV drips to recover from whatever substances they had been consuming, the very same IV treatments he supposedly arranged for his mother after long nights of partying. Anyway, there were also additional claims outlined in Cassie's lawsuit, where she detailed how Diddy was prone to uncontrollable fits of anger and subjected her to brutal acts, in which he pumped, kicked, and stomped her, how she was admitted to the hospital on several occasions, how she lost her memory because of how much Diddy used to lay hands on her, how she wanted to unalive herself, and how Diddy was forcing her to hook up with a succession of male hookers while he filmed the encounters. Near the end of their relationship in 2018, Cassie also accused Diddy of forcing his way into her home and forcing himself on her. Then there were the several other lawsuits that also went into more detail about the freak-offs. For instance, April Lamprose described in detail 4 times Diddy acting like an animal towards her. The first time it allegedly happened was in 1995 after they met at a New York City bar, and April said that Diddy pressured her to drink alcohol. She allegedly felt uneasy after a few sips and was later guided to a car to leave with Diddy. Then, after arriving at a hotel where she continued to feel unwell, April was on a hotel bed when Diddy forced himself on top of her and began to forcibly kiss her. Allegedly, she said that when she turned her head, Diddy grabbed her face and continued to kiss her. Then he undressed her despite her attempts to tell him she felt unwell and her pleas for him to stop. Then she said that she passed out as Diddy continued to have his way. She also recalled another incident involving Kim Porter, claiming she was at Diddy's Manhattan apartment with Kim after they had come back from a nightclub when Diddy allegedly told them both to open their mouths and forced ecstasy pills down their throats. After that, he allegedly pressured them into hooking up while he sat back and watched, getting his own satisfaction from seeing Kim and April together. But it didn't end there, because April claimed that once he forced the 2 women to engage with each other, Diddy went on to force himself on her as well. Honestly, considering everything that was said to have been happening, is it really shocking that people might have ended up infected with heavy drugs, unprotected encounters, and people allegedly being passed around? It almost seems inevitable. Still, what troubles me more than the freak-off stories themselves are the names being tied to Diddy. We're talking about some of the most powerful women in the industry: Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Cassie, Young Miami, Kim Porter, Jennifer Lopez, Mary J. Blige, and that's only scratching the surface. Is it possible that these women and others ended up infected? I can't confirm that. At the end of the day, Jaguar's claims are only adding fuel to the fire already surrounding Diddy. Some brush her off as a bitter insider gone rogue, while others believe she's pulling back the curtain on secrets people in the industry have whispered for years. But either way, the question remains: if even a fraction of her words hold truth, how many careers, reputations, and lives were caught in the madness of those notorious parties? And how many more people should be held responsible?
BBJ should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.
The whole thing is messy, chaotic, and drowning in accusations that may never be fully proven. What started as quiet whispers about Diddy's wild lifestyle has blown up into health scares, broken bonds, and some of the biggest women in the game getting dragged through the mud. And even if a lot of this is gossip stretched too far, the fact that Diddy is already facing charges and watching his empire crumble makes it all feel a little too real. But what do you think about these names being linked to rumors of infections from the freak-offs? Do you believe there's any truth in these allegations? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.